Hi folks, I'm Michael and I want to talk about the poker hand hierarchy and how to memorize the ranking of hands in poker if you're in the middle of a game and you're not sure if you beat your opponent. Starting off, I want to start with the pair, and that's your first made hand. I'm using aces in this example. And a poker hand consists of 5 cards. So this pair will actually have 3 other cards accompanying it, and these other cards that are not used in the pair are called kickers, and they are used to determine a tiebreaker. I'm going to be placing the kickers face down for the duration of the video so we don't lose focus on the made hand. Moving on, the next highest hand after a pair is a 2 pair, and that's pretty much self-explanatory. It's 2 pairs. In this case we have kings and eights, and I'm putting the 5th card down, and that beats a pair. And if someone else has a 2 pair, it's the hand with the higher pair determines the winner. And moving on, the next hand that beats 2 pairs is a 3 of a kind. And this example, it's 3 2s, 3 of a kind 3s, 4s, and so on would beat this 3 of a kind. Now this is what I call the first group, or the low group. This is very common. You will see these hands many times. They win a lot of pots, and an easy way to memorize this is 1 2 3, 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 of a kind. I call this the middle group, and these where the monsters come in. The next highest hand after a 3 of a kind is a straight. A straight is 5 cards, all in consecutive order. And in this case, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all in numerical order, regardless of suit. They're all different suits. And that is the first hand in this middle group. The next highest hand that beats a straight is a flush. And a flush is basically 5 cards of the same suit. This is 5 cards, all of different numerical value. Someone else has a flush, it's the highest card of someone's hand that determines the winner. Moving on to the next hand, a big hand, and that is the full house. The full house is the next highest hand above the flush, and this hand is a 3 of a kind with a pair. If someone else has a full house, it's determined that the winner is the person that has a higher 3 of a kind, not the pair. If you can memorize this next group as straight, flush, full house, and try to sink that into your mind somehow, and then we'll move on to the last group. Top group, the last group, I call the high group. It's just 2 hands, and that first hand is the 4 of a kind. This is the hand right above a full house. 4 cards of the same numerical value. This is 4 9s. I have the 5th card face down. It's the second highest hand, and it's pretty easy to determine the winner. If someone else has a 4 of a kind, it's the higher numerical value. Moving on to the biggest hand in poker, and that would be a straight flush. A straight flush is 5 cards, all in consecutive numerical value. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in this example, all of the same suit. It is virtually impossible to get. In a draw game, it's 1 out of 72,000 approximately. And I want to clarify something. Many people will disagree with me. They'll say, no, that highest hand is a royal flush. Well, that is true. And a royal flush, folks, is the highest straight flush. 10 to ace with all of the same suit. That is a royal flush. It is the highest hand technically in poker, but essentially a royal flush is a straight flush. It is just the highest straight flush possible. I would just eliminate this from your brain and just know the highest hand is a straight flush. And this is the high group. If you could memorize this group last, it would make your poker ranking system in your head a little easier. And I want to mention one last thing, folks. If you don't have at least a pair, there is something called the high card. This is actually the lowest hand, and that is essentially 5 cards, because poker hands consist of 5 cards. If you don't have at least a pair, what we call is high card. In this particular hand, it's the ace. So your can does still count. You still can win the pot if you have the high card. I'm Michael. I hope you enjoyed this. Feel free to like and subscribe. Any questions, feel free to comment, and I'll get back to you. I could talk about this all day, and we'll see you later.